sure. Okay, awesome. So my name is Jasleni and I'm here with Shalonda Edwards. Shalonda, thank you so much for joining me. I feel so official with our, our little intro. So I'm here talking to Shalonda because we've just finished our 3-month program working together, developing her branding, her website design, some marketing materials, and it's been quite a journey. So Shalonda, thank you so much for being here and giving me your feedback and sharing a little bit about your journey.
No problem. Thank you for having me. It's awesome to be here.
Yeah. So I wanna kind of go back in time 3 months ago or so, and in your own words, how would you describe where you were before we started working together?
Um, I was a little lost, to be honest. I had a vision. I had clear idea of what I wanted my company to look like, how I wanted it to operate, the services I wanted to provide, but I didn't have all the concrete steps in terms of like how to execute things and how to organize things so that it was meaningful and made sense. I just couldn't put everything together by myself. I also didn't have all the hands I needed to do all the kind of steps that needed to be done. So we went from having like an abstract idea or concept in my head of, what I wanted, what I envisioned, what I thought I wanted to execute to, having a logo, having a concept, having a clear identification of what I want my business to be and what it is, who we want to serve, and being able to take that information and develop like concrete content from it. So it's been really productive and helpful.
So you mentioned in the beginning you were feeling kind of lost with figuring out all the things. How long had you been thinking about developing your branding and your website and even just getting your business like up and running before we got together?
Um, I first incorporated the and started thinking about the business in March of last year. Um, so it had been an idea I was like thinking about and refining and working on. And I had like little bits and pieces, like in regards to my logo. I knew I wanted the lotus, and I knew I wanted there to be purple, but and I knew I liked the name, and I knew some of the services I wanted to offer. But being able to, my social media was kind of a mess. I didn't have any concrete content developed. I didn't have even like a clear mission statement written out. I had things in my head and like in my heart that I wanted to be able to share, but I didn't have it all written out so that it was, could be clear to anybody else.
Mhm.
So,
And that actually feels very familiar. People will come to me with sort of ingredients of, ideas and bits and pieces of what they want. Some will come with more clarity than others.
sure.
But I find that a lot of time it's about like putting together that recipe, right? So you have some of those ingredients, but how do you bring it all together and go from, I really want to do this to opening your virtual doors and having your business up and running and a fully functional website? What would you say were your frustrations or challenges either before or during the process of going from idea to fully completed, um, up and running, operating business?
Sure. Honestly, looking back on it, I think the biggest challenge was time. One, being able to have time to commit to all the things I needed to do to be able to get you information and roll out things as we needed to roll them out, um, in a way that made sense. That was hard to find. Um, and then I think just a little bit of fear, like just being scared of sharing your vision and something you've thought about and wanted to do for a while with the world, not knowing how it will be received or if people will believe in you or see the vision or think it makes sense or it's a very it's a just a certain process to put out something that you care about and that is so like um, dear to you to the world to see how it will be received. So there was certainly a good amount of fear.
Yeah. Okay, well, I can tell you that yes, even though this is a demanding process to go from I have this idea to in 3 months like flushing it out and like making it happen, people spend sometimes years thinking about something and sort of going back and forth about it, but it's so different thinking about it, talking about it to actually making it happen and then doing so within a 3 month span. It does require a certain level of commitment. And I
Mhm.
have to say, even though you're sharing that it was challenging finding the time, you rocked it. Like you showed up every week, committed, invested. Doesn't mean that you always have the answer. No, like that's why, we get together and figure it out. But you certainly showed up prepared each time, crossing things off the list. So I commend you for that. And in terms of the fear of putting yourself out there, yeah, it does require a certain level of courage to decide this is what I want to do. This is the business I want to create. This is what brings me joy. And I'm going to jump forward and hopefully the world will like it and it'll be
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah, it
Are
is. It's
you,
very courageous. You're right.
yeah, where are you with that fear right now?
It comes and goes. But I think I feel more like this is like in alignment with my purpose now that it's kind of out there and there's no taking it back. Um, so I think, but it definitely comes and goes. Like when I have to, talk about the services or explain them, or just a little bit of hesitation. Like, are people going to get it? Are people going to? It still exists, but I feel much more confident now that I've had some time to for myself even to like digest all the things I'm doing and the services we offer, and to really see it be fleshed out in people's response. It makes it go away a little bit.
There is something about talking about ourselves and what we do that gives us that butterfly feeling. But the good thing is that your website can do a lot of that heavy lifting for you. If you're ever feeling like, here, visit my website. There's everything you need to know. Um, have you found that to make it easier to facilitate these conversations?
Of course, and I refer back to that concept because I developed it all. So, well, we developed it together. But I'm like, I said some really good things. Like this is good information. So yeah, I certainly utilize that and the brochures, and the social media. I think it's like all different ways of relating to people and giving information about the services to different to people that might come in through different ways. So it's nice. Like I think the younger people like the social media piece a little bit more, and then if they're serious about services, they might follow up on the website. But I like that people have access to all of it, and then they can determine which way they, want to interact with the content.
So you're able to attract different people through your different platforms, it sounds like.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned that your social media before we worked together was a bit of a mess, and um, and I certainly don't want to hate on your social media, but I agree. I politely refer to it as needing some love.
It definitely needed some love. Yeah.
How do you feel about your social media sort of before and after working together?
So now that I look back on it, I'm like, I never utilized it previously. And I think it was because, I didn't really like it. I didn't feel connected to it. I wasn't putting content on it. Um, but now that I have social media that is, not a mess, that is pretty and it has we have a color palette, we have a scheme we utilize of how to post things, the content makes sense. It's something that I'm much more proud of and that I can see, like I can see the engagement. And so I am more motivated to try and continue to keep up um, with it, with posting things and interacting with people that way.
Well, some feedback from me to you is that your social media before, actually, I wish we would have done like a screenshot of what it looked like before. That would have been fun to revisit. But certainly we can revisit your old logo versus your logo now. But with your social media, it didn't feel like you to me. Like it was not as fun and bubbly. And now it's so fun for me to just be on Instagram or whatever, and then you pop up and I see that you're sharing videos, and there's pictures of your yoga classes and your upcoming events, and you're being really creative with it. And there's a lot of variety in your content. So is it safe to say that it's easier for you now, or that you're having more fun with it now?
Yeah, I definitely like doing it. I'm always talking to like my yoga teachers or to like people that do classes about developing content about like, hey, shoot a video, like explaining who you are, because it allows people to interact with you or see you in a different way rather than like static, just a photo with a description of your bio. So it's definitely a lot more fun. I enjoy shooting content. I want to continue to do it, and I'm planning out what the content is going to look like next year. Um, so it's much more exciting when you have pages that are relevant and fun, and like, it's much more encouraging to continue to keep up on your content then.
Okay, let me step back because I want to use your own words right now. You said in the beginning you were feeling lost, and right now you're literally said, "Oh yeah, I'm already planning content for next year." What? Like what?
I know.
What a
I
shift.
know. I know. Well, I do feel more confident now, and I have the resources, and I've done a couple of things now, and people are responding positively. So it makes you, it definitely drives that vein in you to continue to want to produce things for people so that they can, interact with you and know what we're doing, what we have going on.
So in the beginning, when we decided to jump in and do this, your goals were to develop your branding. What what was your understanding of what branding means then versus now? Is it the same, different? Talk to me a little bit about what you think about branding having gone through this process.
Sure. So having gone through this and now being like a real business owner and working on the other side of business, not just doing my clinical services, I have a much more in-depth understanding of what branding is, that it's not just, like a logo or letters or like a font, but like, the intention of your business and how you want to be received and how you carry that out when you're interacting with people in person. What you do in the community, like how your brand or your business shows up. So it's a lot more in depth, I think, than people realize. It's a lot more than like a pretty, although the pretty logo and font is all that, and all that stuff is fun. It's a lot more in regards to how you show up and how you demonstrate, your services and even your values to the community.
My whole heart is like singing right now. Because people come to me all the time, like in desperate need of a logo. I need a logo. I need a logo. And this idea that like once you have your logo, you have a business. And so hearing you talk about this in your own words, I just feel like a proud mama right now, like, oh my God, look, we're talking about branding in this really full, expansive way. Um, so I'm curious for those that are thinking of going through this 3-month program of going from idea to developing your branding to creating the website to looking at your marketing and like really evaluating all the bitty pieces of your business, your services, your pricing, all the things. What advice would you give to somebody who's sort of tiptoeing, is this the right move for them, that's considering going through with this but isn't sure?
Sure. I would say to take the chance and make the investment in your business. I mean, I could have started slower. Some people gave me advice to like start slower, and you don't need a logo, you don't need a website yet. But for me, all of those things have helped to legitimize my business, and for me to also, have resources and be able to direct people to where they can find more information about me or my background, or the other clinicians or the services we offer. So I think um, it is definitely an investment, and I think if you really have a good idea and you believe in yourself, it's worth kind of taking the leap. It'll help you move along, I think, a little bit more quickly in the process when you have support. And you have someone who can offer you valuable feedback, who has worked with other businesses and helps to help people to build their brands in a lot of different capacities or a lot of different industries. It's very supportive. And I don't know how long this would have taken me to do otherwise, probably a couple of years, and I probably would have had to use different people along the way. So I also don't know if I would have had something so cohesive, since you are just one person and you have the same thought process. I think it could have been much more like choppy or, not made as much sense if I worked with one person for the logo and one person for the website and that could have been a lot.
There
So I
is
think
there's a sort of design cohesive magic that happens when you're not explaining yourself and your business and your vision to a bunch of people trying to bring it all together. So yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me. So for the folks who are listening to this and wondering, what is Shalonda's business? What does she do? I want to know more. I'm going to put you in the spot and have you do what you just said makes you feel nervous. And tell us about your business.
Sure. So my name's Shalonda Edwards. I'm a social worker by trade. I currently work as a psychotherapist, and I have a private group practice. I have 3 clinicians that work for me, and we all see clients who are experiencing different mental health symptoms or stressors. But we also are a kind of a more holistic group practice, and we offer other alternative services as well. So we have a Reiki practitioner, we have yoga classes, and we also have a meditation series that we run. So in addition to some groups we're looking to get up and running. So it's a kind of holistic way of working on, bettering yourself, healing yourself, taking better care of your body, and making the mind-body spiritual connection. That's what we try and encourage. So we like to offer everything in-house. So in case someone's not fully ready to commit to therapy, maybe they'll come in and do a breathwork class or the meditation class, or maybe they'll come in and do some yoga with us or participate in a group. And then maybe that, the idea of therapy, should they want to seek it in the future, is not so scary because, they're familiar with our services and our staff, and are already invested in doing some of that work for themselves. So.
And even though you're located in Massachusetts, you do offer a lot of these services virtually. So I know the Reiki, well, maybe not the Reiki, but certainly the yoga, right? And
Well,
a lot of your workshops
virtually. The energy Reiki, which is energy healing, it can be done in person, but it also can be done virtually. So, yeah. And the yoga, of course, and the meditation classes, participants can, join from anywhere. They just register on the website, healingwithrhw.com, and they can see all the events that we offer. And they're, offered virtually through Zoom as well. So people can participate from anywhere.
And I know that you have different groups that you're offering, and even that is growing. What are some of the things that you want to offer even beyond all of the things that you already have now?
Sure. So we have a wellness group we're working on. Our staff are all really multifaceted. Some of them are like social workers, but also do teach yoga. So they do psychotherapy, but also run the yoga groups. And one of our clinicians also does Reiki, and she's an integrative wellness coach. So she's very well versed and well educated on nutrition. So we have a weekly group on Wednesdays that is focused more on nutrition and health and wellness. And she also runs a goddess group that is on Saturdays, where it's kind of an integration of everything. There's health, there's wellness, there's physical movement. It's processing things that are going on that people in the group might be experiencing. And given her background, she really has the ability to talk about a lot of things with the clients. It's mostly a women's group, so there's a lot of content that they discuss.
One thing that I just adore about you is that you're so in integrity with yourself, with your business, with how you move through the world. And yeah, at the beginning, maybe you were lost in terms of like the business stuff, the branding stuff, but the heart of it, the intention, the wanting to offer wellness, wanting making this accessible to your community, wanting to do so in different ways, right? Through therapy and beyond. Like you've been really true to that. And that has been consistent from the beginning. Even if you didn't know how you were going to make it happen, I love that you've been committed to that mission, even in selecting who you want to be a part of your team, and
Sure.
how are they showing up, and are they in integrity with your core offering, and how you want to make the world a better place. So I really appreciate that people talk about wellness sort of loosely. It's a very trendy word right now, but I feel like you're really embodying that in yourself, in your business, and in the services that you offer.
Sure. So I think part of that is just, so I'm also a yoga practitioner, obviously, and I'm studying to be a yoga teacher. That'll be completed soon. So I think part of my personal philosophy is I feel like when you take steps and take chances to offer what your gift is to the universe, it kind of like rewards you. So me connecting with practitioners who are all into, kind of Eastern medicine and alternative ways of healing and helping and have a deep, strong commitment to our community. It's just by coincidence. I mean, I don't think it's by coincidence, but I didn't search them out knowing that they had those qualities or interests or skill set. It just so happened that, those were the people I connected with. And when I told them about what I was doing, they were really interested. So I think this is kind of our path to be on together, to like really be able to offer our community total comprehensive mental health that's culturally competent and supportive, and other aspects of wellness that can help us to heal and grow and be better aligned. So it's so exciting to be able to do.
Yeah, I don't think that's a coincidence at all. And part of my mission is to work with women entrepreneurs, aspiring entrepreneurs, doing what's in alignment with their soul, what makes them feel really good. So the fact that you feel in alignment with the work that you're doing, and people who are also on that wavelength are just, very casually popping up, like that is not a coincidence.
Sure.
When you're energetically aligned to the work that you're doing, it makes everything sort of fall in place, doesn't it?
Absolutely. I believe so.
Yeah,
Yeah. And,
I
and
believe
that's exactly
so.
why I want to do, you know, offer it to more people so they can start to feel and experience that alignment in their life.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for being on the lovingly in the hot seat, sharing a little bit about your experience. I'm going to add the link to your website. So look look around for that link. And yeah, check out Shalonda and her services if you want to be really good, if you want to do something really good for your body, for your mental wellness, for your soul.
Absolutely. If you want to do anything to work on yourself, to help yourself, to show up better for yourself, to increase your self-esteem, anything. If you are invested in yourself and you want to continue to invest in yourself, why not experiment and take a class, or, see what offerings we have.
Yeah, what a beautiful gift to yourself to do something special like that.
Of course. Of course.
Well, Shalonda,
Awesome.
thank you so, so much. I know that we'll be talking really soon.
Absolutely. Thank you. Nice seeing you.
Likewise.
All right.